All right, well, first of all, I want to thank you for coming out on this important issue. Also, I want to thank, first of all, Representative Jim Lyons for filing the petition that's moving this issue forward. I also want to thank Kevin Quiros, who's joined me as well, for being one of the co-signers. Shauna O'Connell, who couldn't be here, thanking her, Nick Boldiga, Mark Lombardo, and Dave DeCoste, all state reps who signed on to this petition for the impeachment of Judge Tim Feeley. The reason we're here is because, as you're probably all aware, there's an issue with Judge Feeley's decision, specifically relating to a case out of Peabody. And, you know, the good people of Massachusetts have put their trust in the legislature. The legislature has recently done criminal justice reform, which has made sure that we've stiffened penalties on fentanyl. We've kept strict penalties on heroin, and I think that was the right thing to do. And then we've also put our trust in law enforcement. I've been out with a gang unit doing undercover buys of drugs. You've got police officers that put themselves into cars with drugs, with guys with guns, and they're trying to get the guns, the drugs, and these criminals off the streets. And then the people of Massachusetts put their trust in the judicial system to make sure that judges are doing the right thing with these criminals that need to get off the street. And in this case, we saw specifically a judge who made a decision to put basically a drug dealer, a repeat drug dealer, someone who the community was trying to get off the streets, back onto the street, saying that all he was doing was trying to earn a living for his family. Okay, so talk to the families of Massachusetts who've had loved ones died. 40 people in the town of Salem, 40 people in the town of Salem alone have died just this year. Over 2,000 every year in Massachusetts are dying from drug overdoses. We're in the middle of an epidemic, a crisis, based on heroin, fentanyl, and opioids. And we had a judge put someone back on the street saying he was just trying to earn a living for his family. But what compounded the issue was the decision made by the judge, partially because the defendant was also someone who was here as an immigrant who would have been subject to deportation. This is made clear in the discussions we found out yesterday between the judge and the defense attorney, saying that had he been an American citizen, this defendant would have been put in jail and would have had to do time. Okay, so the judgment of Judge Tim Feeley obviously was compromised, and we feel that based on this and several other decisions recently, he does need to step down from the bench, whether it's voluntarily as a resignation or whether it's through an impeachment. And I also want to say, I want to thank a lot of legislators here in the building who have signed on to the petition to have him impeached. And that includes Democrats. And I also want to thank Speaker DeLeo, who now sees this as an issue that warrants SJC review. However, I would say that in this case, I think we have the authority, and we should take the authority to move forward with the impeachment, get the approval of the House and Senate, have it go to the governor and then the Governor's Council, and have Judge Tim Feeley removed from office.